Day going so far?
Yes, good. So today
Awesome.
we discuss about the topic is learning from failure, turning setbacks into opportunities. So, are you ready for questioning? I will ask, then you give me answer.
Absolutely. I'm ready. Go ahead and ask your questions whenever you're set, and I'll do my best to give you thoughtful answers.
What does failure teach us in of life?
Failure teaches us resilience and humility. It helps us understand what doesn't work so we can refine our approach, build grit, and sometimes even discover new pathways we never considered before. In that way, failure is really a form of guided learning.
Failure teach. Okay, why is learning from failure important for success?
Learning from failure is crucial because it gives us real insight, unfiltered feedback on what went wrong. Without failure, we might never know our weaknesses or blind spots. By analyzing mistakes, we adapt, grow, and build a more robust foundation for future success.
Okay, how can setbacks become opportunities?
Setbacks become opportunities when we reframe them as lessons. Instead of seeing them as roadblocks, we can use them to pivot, innovate, or rethink our approach. Often, a setback forces us to slow down, reflect, and uncover hidden strengths or new directions we hadn't considered before.
Why do many successful people experience failure first?
A lot of successful people experience failure early because they're willing to take risks and step outside of their comfort zone. Failure for them is a byproduct of trying new things, so each failure becomes a stepping stone toward mastery and innovation.
Why do many people, okay, how can people stay positive after failure?
Staying positive after failure often comes from focusing on the bigger picture. People can remind themselves of past challenges they've overcome, set small, achievable goals, and seek support from others. Practicing gratitude and seeing failure as temporary helps keep them motivated and steady.
What is the difference between failure and giving up?
The difference is that failure is just a temporary setback. It's something you experience, learn from, and keep going. Giving up, on the other hand, is when you stop trying altogether, when you let the failure define you instead of using it as a step toward growth.
How can failure build confidence and strength?
Failure builds confidence and strength because every time we face it and keep going, we prove to ourselves that we can handle adversity. Each failure we overcome becomes a reminder that we're capable of growth and that resilience compounds over time, making us stronger for future steps.
What are some common reasons people fail?
Some common reasons people fail are things like lack of preparation, fear of taking risks, poor planning, or simply being in the wrong circumstances. Sometimes it's just a mismatch between expectations and reality, but all of these can be stepping stones if we learn from them.
How can a student learn from academic failure?
Students can learn from academic failure by reflecting on what went wrong, whether it was a lack of understanding, poor time management, or inadequate study strategies. By identifying these gaps, they can adjust their approach, seek help from teachers or peers, and set more realistic goals. In that process, each failure becomes a roadmap to improvement.
Why is patience important during difficult times?
Patience is important because it helps us stay grounded and focused even when progress is slow. During difficult times, if we rush, we often miss key lessons or make hasty decisions. Patience allows us to process, adjust, and keep going until we reach a breakthrough.
How can failure improve problem solving skills?
Failure improves problem solving skills by forcing us to analyze what went wrong. It pushes us to explore different angles, test new strategies, and adapt our thinking. Over time, this iterative process makes us more creative, flexible, and resilient in tackling future challenges.
How can businesses turn failure into success?
Businesses can turn failure into success by using it as a chance to reassess their strategy. They can gather data, listen to customer feedback, pivot their approach, and innovate based on those lessons. By staying agile and resilient, they often come out stronger with a clearer sense of purpose and a more refined business model.
Why should people not fear making mistakes?
People shouldn't fear making mistakes because mistakes are essential for growth. They show us where we need to improve, spark new ideas, and remind us that success is rarely linear. In fact, each mistake is a small step toward mastering something new.
How can failure inspire creativity and innovation?
Failure inspires creativity and innovation because it pushes us to rethink our assumptions. When something doesn't work, we're forced to explore new directions, experiment with different tactics, and connect ideas in novel ways. Often, the most creative breakthroughs emerge from failures head on.
What are some examples of famous people who succeed after failure?
Yeah, definitely. For instance, Walt Disney was fired early on for lacking imagination, but he went on to create Disney. J.K. Rowling faced countless rejections before Harry Potter was published, and Thomas Edison famously failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Each of them used failure as a fuel to keep going.
How can support from others help during setbacks?
Support from others is really powerful during setbacks because it reminds us we're not alone. Encouragement, advice, and even just a listening ear can help us stay grounded, gain perspective, and keep going. With that support, we can rebuild confidence and keep moving toward our goals.
Why is self reflection important after failure?
Self reflection is important because it helps us understand the root causes of our failure. When we pause to analyze what happened, we gain clarity on what decisions or actions led us there. This awareness allows us to make more informed choices and grow stronger in future attempts.
How can people stay motivated when thinking go wrong?
Staying motivated during tough times means keeping a sense of purpose, reminding yourself why you started in the first place. Break big goals into smaller steps so progress feels achievable. Celebrate small wins and surround yourself with supportive people who believe in you.
How can failure help people discover their true potential?
Failure helps people discover their true potential by revealing hidden strengths they didn't know they had. When things go wrong, people often dig deeper, push past their limits, and experiment with new skills or perspectives. In that process, they often unlock potential they never fully foresaw.
Why do some people become stronger after setbacks?
Some people become stronger after setbacks because they develop a growth mindset. They see challenges as opportunities to learn, adapt, and build resilience. Each time they face a failure, they come out with more self awareness, grit, and a deeper belief in their ability to succeed.
How can a person recover emotionally from failure?
Recovering emotionally from failure often involves giving yourself time and self compassion. It helps to talk to trusted friends or mentors, focus on small wins, and reframe the failure as a temporary step, not a final verdict. With patience and perspective, emotional healing follows.
What lesson can entrepreneurs learn from failure?
Entrepreneurs can learn that failure is a natural part of the journey. It teaches them to validate their ideas, stay adaptable, and iterate quickly. Each failure offers data on what doesn't work, helping them fine tune their approach until they find success.
How can failure improve decision making skills?
Failure improves decision making because it forces us to analyze past choices and their outcomes. We start to recognize patterns, understand risks better, and weigh options more carefully. Over time, these lessons sharpen our judgment, helping us make more informed and confident decisions in the future.
Why is resilience important in difficult situations?
Resilience is important because it allows us to bounce back from hardships without losing momentum. It helps us manage stress, adapt to change, and keep a long term perspective. With resilience, even the toughest situations become opportunities to grow stronger.
How can some people turn negative experiences into motivation?
Some people turn negative experiences into motivation by reframing them as fuel for their next step. They use the frustration or disappointment as a catalyst, setting new goals, pushing harder, or proving to themselves that they can rise above the past. In that way, resilience becomes a powerful motivator.
What role does determination play in overcoming failure?
Determination is absolutely crucial. It keeps us moving forward even when the path gets tough. When we stay determined, we don't let failure define us. Instead, we use it as a stepping stone. That persistent drive helps us adapt, improve, and ultimately reach our goals despite setbacks.
How can people avoid repeating the same mistakes?
People can avoid repeating the same mistakes by actively reflecting on what went wrong, documenting lessons learned, and making a clear plan for improvement. They can also seek feedback from others, set new checkpoints, and stay mindful of triggers that led to the original mistake.
What is the biggest life lesson people can learn from failure? Give me in 10 seconds answer.
The biggest life lesson from failure is that growth often comes from discomfort. Every failure is a chance to learn, adapt, and come back stronger.
Okay, thank you for the conversation and give me a very informative thinking about our new topic. We will come again for the that time. We are leaving now. Okay, thank you, ChatGPT.
You're very welcome. I'm really